Hey guys, welcome to the channel. In today's video, we need to get this truck ready for the G56 to go in. So what we're going to do is tear everything out that we need out. Drive lines, transfer case, the old transmission, the exhaust, all the cooling system for the automatic transmission. We're going to get it out, and by the end of this video, we should have this thing ready for the G56 to go right in. So let's get into it. So the first step to make this super easy is to get the exhaust out. So let's take that out. Alright, so we have the cooler lines all drained and the cooler's drained out. Now we need to undo a couple last things before the transmission's ready to come out. So we have to get the transfer case shifter off, the shift linkage for this off, and a couple other wiring harness things, and then we'll be ready to pull the transmission. There we go. Pops out like that. Now, Alright guys, we have all the cross members out. I have all the bell housing bolts out except for 2 of them. We have the torque converter unbolted from the flex plate. So we're gonna get the tranny jack under here, get it supported, and then pull those last 2 bell housing bolts out, and she should come out. So let's do it. So lift yours up just a little. Okay. There she comes. Hold on. Just gently. Doesn't want to go anywhere. Okay. Alright, now we can work her down. Nice and slow. Ooh. Oh, I'm going too quick. Yeah, let's back it up just a little bit. Towards me? Yeah. I'm almost bottomed out. Okay, here it comes. It's gonna go to your side, yeah? Yeah. Okay, there's a big thing in the middle. Yes, we gotta go a little further. There we go. Okay, ready? It's gonna leak a little. Okay, let's just wiggle. Perfect. Okay. Get the jack out of the way. Yeah. Kind of missed the cardboard a little bit, but oh well. There we go. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Alright, transmission is out, but now we got to get the flex plate and the adapter plate with the starter out, because we're not going to be using those. One thing is, if you have an automatic transmission, in order to get the adapter plate out, you have to take, there's 1 bolt from the heat exchanger up here that you have to take out. So we're going to take the whole heat exchanger out once we get the adapter plate out, but we do have to take that 1 bolt out to get the adapter plate off. So let's get doing that. That should be pretty easy, and then tear down is complete.
You doing that tomorrow?
Okay. Okay. Perfect. Woo-wee. So correction, there were actually 3 bolts from the heat exchanger into the adapter plate. They're all 10mm bolts. This one's a pain in the butt to get to, but they're gettable, and then the adapter plate comes off. Alright, so one thing we need to do now is take the heat exchanger off the passenger side of the block. So we've disconnected the transmission cooler lines from it, which is one step. The next step is actually disconnecting the coolant lines from this. I'm actually not sure if I need to drain the coolant to do this, but here's to hoping again. We're gonna try it without draining the coolant and hope for the best. It could be a big mess, but we'll see. So basically we just have to bypass this. I'll show you the fittings I'm gonna use to put in place of where this system was tapped into the coolant lines, and just unbolt it from the block. It's super easy, so let's get that done. And man, we are knocking this thing out. Well, we need to drain the coolant. Alright, so the heat exchanger's out. All there were the 3 bolts, the 10 millimeters that I told you about on the adapter plate, and then there were 2 more up here. All of them were easy to get to, and then it just came right out. So that was not difficult. Now we have to get this fitting out and this big fitting out. Now this is the one I'm worried most about. There's no, it's not meant for like a socket or anything. Alright, so to get this fitting out, I ran to the hardware store and got these bolt grip from Irwin. So we're gonna cross our fingers and give that a try. Oh yeah. Yes. It worked. Okay, so for this now we have this brass cap. This is 1/2-inch pipe thread. So I'm going to throw some pipe tape on here and we'll screw that in, and then we'll get to this fitting down here. Alright, so here you can see that old fitting where it's got 2 outlets, and at this point we only need 1 outlet. So I went to Napa and got this elbow. They only had it in 1/2-inch pipe thread. So I got a 3/4 reducer, so we're going to put that on there. And then I got the nipple to go right in here. So obviously I'll put Teflon tape on all of this. But you can see that is going to work. And then I've got this little piece of hose to connect this to the heater box line. So this should go together nicely. Let's throw it in there. And then that should be it for taking that heat exchanger out. Alright, now that we have access to a lot of the underside of the truck, I'm going to take advantage of this situation and do a lot of stuff I've been wanting to do once I pulled the transmission. So if you look up here, I've got a new list of stuff we need to do before the new transmission is ready to go in. This is a lot of work, but I think it's going to be worth it in the end. All right, the underside of the cab is all done and painted. I didn't paint the frame yet because we're gonna have to drill some holes in that first, so we'll get to that in the next video. So the next thing we need to do is replace the motor mounts. Let me show you those motor mounts and why I'm gonna replace them. So there you can see that motor mount right there is twisted and it's just falling apart. So we're gonna replace that. The other one's actually not bad. It looks really good actually, but if I'm gonna replace one, I'm gonna replace them both. So I'm gonna get my engine hoist and hook it up. We'll pull the engine up just a little bit, loosen all the hardware on the mounts, raise it up a little bit more, pull the mounts out, put the new ones in, set it down, button it all back up. It should be a pretty easy process. So let's get after it. Alright guys, there we have it. We got a ton done in this video. So just to recap, we pulled everything out, the exhaust, the drive lines, the transfer case shifter, all the automatic stuff. We pulled out the Durelli automatic transmission cooler, we pulled out the cooler from up here, we pulled out the heat exchanger. So we also put new motor mounts on, we cleaned the whole underside of the cab, we painted the underside of the cab, we cleaned the back of the engine and the oil pan. So we really got a ton done in the video. It is turning out awesome. We're at the point where in the next video, we're gonna start mocking up the G56, get the cross member all mocked up, get it where it needs to be. We gotta clean the transfer case and put new seals in the transfer case, button up a few things there, but we should get a ton of work done next video as well. We should have the G56 all mounted up, the hole through the floor, the shifter in the cab. We should have all that ready in the next video. So we're making tons of progress. I hope you guys are enjoying this project. I'm having a blast. Thanks for the support and we will see you guys in the next video.